With Path of Exile 3.17, Arch Nemesis League, and Siege of the Atlas launching later today, I'm sure everyone's excited to jump in and get to leveling. So here are a few tips you can use to set yourself up for success as you level. But first, I have a question. Don't you guys have phones? Because if you do, you might be interested in today's sponsor, RA Remote. RA is a completely free remote access software service, which you can download on Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. You can get it via the download button on their website, or through the usual places like the Google Play Store. RA allows you to connect your phone to your PC for file transfers, remote printing, screen mirroring, and more. Or you could upgrade to the powerful Pro version to unlock even more features. Now, PoE Mobile is still in development, but if you want to do some trading on the bus, or run a map while you're on your lunch break, or maybe you're just too lazy to get out of bed, but you really want to go fight the Searing Exarch, then RA Remote Game can help, by allowing you to play Path of Exile using your phone. You can customize the on-screen keyboard, mouse speed, and volume so you'll never miss an Exalt drop, and it also supports up to 144 frames a second. You can also earn Sunshine, and use the Sunshine Shop to get access to the Pro and Game versions for free. You'll get Sunshine by completing various daily tasks, or inviting friends to use the service. As a special bonus, the first 200 people to enter the code shown on screen will get a 7-day free trial of RA Remote Game, so you can try it out for yourself and see if you like it. Then, if you want to upgrade afterwards, it's currently on sale. You can get 20% off the Pro and Game versions when you sign up for 2 devices, or 40% off when you sign up with 3 or more. For more information, please check the link down in the description below, or in the pinned comment. A big thanks to RA Remote for sponsoring this video. Now, back to the video. These are 5 tips on how to set yourself up for success on League Start. As with a lot of my videos, I'll be focusing primarily on the softcore trade economy, but much of this advice will apply to hardcore trade as well. And some of the tips can even be used as best practices for solo self-found. So as you go through, look for ways to apply the tip to your own needs, rather than just what will sell well. Tip number 1. If you haven't already done so, take a few minutes in Standard before League Start and set up all your tabs. This can include organizing them so that you have a dump tab, along with setting up some sale tabs and making sure things are roughly in the order you want them in. This will set a template that transfers to a temporary league, so if you set your tabs up in regular old Standard, they'll be set up for softcore trade. If you set it up in hardcore, it'll be set up for hardcore trade. And you can do the same for solo self-found. Personally, I suggest organizing things so that you have all of your special currency tabs together with short searchable names, at least one dump tab, and finally some generic storage space where you can dump things in just to sell them. And the great thing about this is, if you do it once, that's one less thing you'll ever have to do again on League Start because it is permanent. The template will be carried forward to all future leagues, and if you ever want to change it, you can just go change the template. As a bonus tip, while leveling, if you find an item you think looks good, but you can't really use it for yourself, toss it in one of those public sale tabs. The worst case is, it won't sell for anything, and the best case is you'll have a bit of extra money by the time you reach maps. Tip number 2, be sure to show flasks on your loot filter. This has become much more important with the Flask rework, and there's 2 reasons behind this. First, you're going to need well-rolled flasks to help in your leveling and once you reach maps anyway, so you might as well start by picking them up early so you don't have to spend as many alts rolling them yourself. In particular, make sure that your filter highlights all magic utility flasks. You might find something with a great suffix that otherwise you would have completely missed. But second of all, even if you pick something up and you can't use it, it could be a great flask for someone else. So put these in a public tab and price check them when someone sends you an offer or when enough have piled up. Things with the prefix gain a flask charge when you're hit by an enemy are quite popular, and as a result could be in high demand. Suffixes like armor, evasion, immunity to bleeding or poison, move speed, reduced effect of curses on you, and crit strike chance are also great. If you find a flask with a good prefix, or a flask with a good suffix, you can always use Einhar to roll the suffix, or an Orb of Augmentation to add a suffix or prefix. This might be a little bit of a gamble, but Augs are dirt cheap, so you're not risking very much, and in the end the flask could sell for 5 or even 10 chaos. Tip number 3. Level gems in your offhand as soon as possible. All you need is a pair of 3-socketed one-hand weapons, or if you want to get really fancy, a 6-socketed two-hand weapon, but I don't advise that. Vendor that for jewelers instead. You'll want colors matching whatever you intend to level, so if you're leveling something like Explosive Arrow, which is going to be very meta in 3.17, you'll want to pick up weapons with green sockets. You'll passively get the gems up to level 20, and then you can price check them. It could be worth selling them immediately, especially if you've leveled quickly. Use the currency to transition into higher maps. Or, alternatively, you can flip the gems using a vendor recipe. 1 Gem Cutter's Prism and 1 level 20 unquality gem will get you a level 1 20 quality gem, which you can then level back up and sell as a level 20 20 quality gem, which should be a lot more profitable. The slower you are at leveling, the more likely you'll want to flip the gems before selling them. This is a good way to accumulate passive income, but of course, you can also use it to level your own gems to corrupt later. Keep in mind, corrupting for a 2120 often loses you money, at least as opposed to selling the gem as a 2020 uncorrupted. Furthermore, if your 2120 gem is 50C, but Explosive Arrow is 2 exalts, you'll be able to fund a lot more of your build by selling a 2120 Explosive Arrow and buying your gem along with some other upgrades. As a bonus tip, if you're finding this video helpful, you can help me by leaving a like or sharing the video with a friend. If you want to see more information on Arch Nemesis League, Siege of the Atlas, build showcases, or economy guides, be sure to sub to the channel and ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload. Tip number 4, remember your Labyrinth trials and passive skill points. If you're in hardcore, you might want to overlevel and backtrack when it comes to a rippy fight like Yugal, but in softcore, each passive point you gain is more damage, more life, and quicker access to defenses. If you do the trials for normal, cruel, and merciless lab as early as possible, you can save some backtracking and get access to more powerful ascendancy points sooner. Hold off on running lab for a few levels if you're worried about dying to Azaro to save some time, but for many builds you'll get a massive power spike once you complete lab. As a bonus tip, do Merc Lab before you fight Kitava in Act 10. This way you can use the additional power against him, and you don't have to worry about the 30% res penalty, which will be applied once you beat Kitava. Tip number 5. Once you reach maps, one of the best ways to start making currency is master missions. You can also do heist, but let's be honest, heist is kind of awful. Whereas master missions are fairly unintrusive and can be done while you're doing your mapping and progressing your atlas. Einhar will give you beasts that you can use for crafting, or you can sell to other players. Alva will give you access to a Temple of Atsuatl. Many level 2 and 3 rooms can be highly rewarding, so be sure to complete your missions whenever you get one. On the other hand, if you don't want to deal with actually doing the temple itself, itemize it and sell it for a quick profit. Nico's mission should be used in high quantity and higher level maps for their bracket, because Selphite scales with map quantity and tier, which means if you want to do a white tier Nico mission, you should use it on a high quantity tier 5 map. Once you have enough Selphite, start digging, and push for map, currency, and specialty nodes. Jund is also a great source of profit. Veiled items can be quite powerful, especially in the early game, and crafters often seek to unlock specific things like Elvion's minus mana cost, so you could easily sell a piece of jewelry with Elvion's Veiled on it for 20 to 30C at league start. One of the best ways to get seed money that you need to transition your character from white to yellow or yellow to red maps is to do every single master mission you're offered. You'll get upgrades for your character, currency, and also items you can sell to other players. As a bonus tip, Kirak will also be offering a lot of high value missions as he is replacing Zana. We don't know the details of what he's offering yet, but most likely, Kirak should be your #1 priority when it comes to master missions. Those are my top 5 tips on how to set yourself up to have a successful and profitable league start. Remember, the biggest limiting factors are the amount of time you have to play and how efficient you are about using that time when you do play. So hopefully, these tips can save you some time backtracking, or avoiding common pitfalls while leveling, as people tend to overvalue currency and undervalue their own time. If you have any tips of your own, aimed either at new players or even veterans, I'd love to hear about them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and again, a special thanks to my patrons and YouTube channel members. If you want to support me, you can do so by clicking the links down in the description below, or on screen right now. You can also support by making purchases through my Nexus page. Or if you just want to chill and hang out, be sure to join the Discord. Again, links for everything are down in the description below. Thank you, and have a great day.